I'm going to be breaking down why cardio is not the most efficient strategy for long-term fat loss. So, buckle up. It's been drilled into our heads that you have to do cardio to lose fat. After all, if physique competitors do like 10 hours of cardio a day leading up to their competitions and they can get that lean doing that, doesn't that mean that that is the ultimate answer? No, it doesn't. I do want to preface this by saying that this video is mostly for people who don't enjoy cardio, who think that they have to do a ton of cardio in order to lose weight and are trying to do that but have been stuck at a plateau forever, or have successfully used cardio to lose weight but always seem to regain the weight later on. The truth is, you do not need to do any cardio in order to lose fat and get lean. It's possible to get super lean with zero cardio. And relying on cardio to lose weight, especially when you hate it and tend to fall off the wagon from doing it, is what's actually causing you to yo-yo back and forth. If you do want to learn more about how to lose fat and keep it off with zero cardio required, make sure you sign up for my new course on healthy, sustainable fat loss called Fat Loss 101. I'll talk more about that later, but for now, you can check it out at fatloss101.com, sign up for the waitlist, learn more, etc. But first, let's break down this whole cardio for fat loss thing and why it's not necessarily the most efficient way to lose fat and keep it off. So I want to kind of break this down into different principles that are key to understand and then kind of puzzle them together as we go. So bear with me. But the first thing that's super important to understand is that the key to getting lean and staying lean comes down to two things. The first is losing fat, but the second is building or just maintaining the amount of muscle that you have. And the only exception here is if you are already underweight or skinny fat, then you mostly just need to build muscle and not worry about fat loss. If you're trying to get lean, but you're only thinking about the fat loss side of the equation and not preserving as much muscle as you can, that's when you end up with the skinny fat look, which if you want to go for that, go for it, but most people don't. And this is where most people start going wrong, is they only think about fat loss and their approach to just fat loss ends up compromising their muscle mass. And so they lose more muscle than they would otherwise if they made sure to consider everything in their programming. The other thing that's really necessary to remember if you want to not only get lean but stay lean long term is prioritizing keeping your metabolic rate up as you lose the weight. Because if you lose all the weight but you do it in a way that tanks your metabolism in the process, you are inevitably going to regain all of the weight. The next thing to understand when it comes to cardio for fat loss is that there are two somewhat opposing pathways in the body: the catabolic pathway and the anabolic pathway. So catabolism is the breakdown of molecules to obtain energy. So for example, eating a burrito, having it go through the digestive system, breaking that burrito down, and then the body using that as fuel is catabolism. Also, taking your fat stores, breaking them down and using that for fuel, also catabolism. So thus, fat loss does require being in a catabolic state so that the body will dip into your fat stores, break them down, and turn them into energy. However, being in too much of a catabolic state or being in a catabolic state for too long of a time will also cause the body to start breaking down muscle and slow down your metabolism. And cardio is a catabolic activity. Anabolism, on the other hand, is the synthesis of molecules required by cells. So for example, taking the amino acids from the digested burrito and using them to build muscle cells. So building muscle requires being in an anabolic state. And one of the effects of being in an anabolic state for a more extended period of time is generally speeding up your metabolism. Now, resistance training is an anabolic activity. So finding the balance here between an anabolic state and a catabolic state is key, because you do have to be in a catabolic state to lose fat, but you want to also be promoting an anabolic state in order to maintain as much muscle as possible and maintain your metabolic rate as high as possible while you are losing the fat. So as everyone knows, you have to be in a calorie deficit in order to lose fat. So that's going to be a given in your fat loss journey. Now, a calorie deficit is also catabolic. So if you combine a calorie deficit with cardio, that's just kind of a lot of catabolism. Whereas if you combine a calorie deficit with resistance training, that's when you tend to get a much more efficient balance of the two that will ultimately get you towards healthy, sustainable fat loss that helps you preserve as much lean muscle as possible while you lose the fat, rather than just losing all the fat and all the muscle and ending up skinny fat. So the next principle that's absolutely key to understand for the next little bit of the video is that the body is a homeostasis machine. It drives weight maintenance. So I have a whole video about set point versus settling point, and how set point is kind of BS, and like wherever you currently are is your settling point, because your body is always driving homeostasis. That's why no matter how much weight you've lost or you've gained, it's always kind of just as hard to lose weight, is because your body is always just driving you to stay where you are. It's kind of like a thermostat. If you set the room to a certain temperature and the temperature goes low, the heat will kick on to bring the temperature back up. If the temperature goes too high, the air will kick on to bring it back down. Your body's kind of doing the same thing, except you can also control the point at which it is set with various lifestyle, diet changes, etc. Essentially just losing fat. You can set a new set point for your body's thermostat, but it takes a lot of effort to break out of that homeostasis mechanism. Your body has a ton of different mechanisms that it can shift to adapt to your current calorie intake and calorie expenditure to keep you essentially in homeostasis or at maintenance. So for example, if you start eating less, your organs will start consuming less energy, your heart will be a little bit slower, your sympathetic nervous system activity will decrease, protein turnover decreases, your mitochondria themselves become more efficient, requiring fewer calories to function. And that's just a few things that all sum up to be metabolic adaptation. The, I guess, good news, bad news is that this works in both directions. So if you start eating less or exercising more to create a calorie deficit, your body shifts all these things to decrease your calorie expenditure so that you start burning less and less, so that you end up plateauing and can't lose more weight, because again, your body is driving homeostasis. It doesn't want you to lose weight, but it also works in reverse. If you start eating more and more gradually, your body will ramp up all of these different things to speed up your metabolism to compensate so that you don't gain a ton of weight. And that's literally the science behind reverse dieting. So the key takeaway here is that the body always drives homeostasis. If you are in an energy deficit, the body will do what it can to decrease that energy deficit, basically slowing your metabolism. Okay, if you have any questions about what I've said so far, drop in the comments, but I do have a lot more. So the next thing that I want to cover in this discussion is an inefficient metabolism versus an efficient metabolism. So generally, efficiency is a good thing, but when it comes to your metabolism, if you're trying to lose fat, it's not so great of a thing for you. And this is because an efficient metabolism is a slower metabolism. Essentially, it makes every calorie last longer in the body. Whereas an inefficient metabolism, calories get burned up a lot faster to be used for the same activities. Think of it like a fuel-efficient car versus an inefficient car. With a fuel-efficient car, 10 gallons of gas might get you 400 miles. But with an inefficient car, 10 gallons of gas might only get you 200 miles. So if you compare that to calories, essentially you would eat twice as many calories if you have an inefficient metabolism to accomplish the same thing. So with an efficient metabolism, your body might be able to sustain itself on 1,400 calories, but with an inefficient metabolism, your body is churning through calories and maybe you need 2,800 calories a day to maintain weight. So when it comes to cardio, what's important to note here is that catabolic activities create an efficient metabolism. And this is because, as we discussed, the body drives homeostasis, and catabolism causes the body to burn up mass to create fuel. So if the activity is causing the body to start burning through your mass, your body is going to make your metabolism more efficient so that you stay at maintenance and you stop burning mass, because the body wants to hang on to the mass that you have. So this is why over time catabolic activities cause your metabolism to slow down. On the other hand, with anabolic activities that cause your body to build muscle, muscle is a very energy inefficient tissue. It costs the body a lot of calories to build, to maintain, and just to use. This is evidenced by the fact that if you stop using your muscles for an extended period of time, the body starts getting rid of your muscle. And this is because muscle requires so much energy and nutrients that the body isn't going to be wasting its resources on muscle tissue that it doesn't actively need. So this is why anabolic activities like resistance training create a more inefficient metabolism, meaning your metabolism is going to be faster. So we talked about homeostasis and how your body will basically slow your metabolism to account for an energy deficit. Let's apply that to using cardio in order to lose fat. So when you use cardio to create a calorie deficit, or you combine cardio with decreasing your calories in order to create a calorie deficit, your body is going to drive homeostasis. So it's going to slow down your metabolism because you're in a calorie deficit, so it's going to try to adapt. This means that over time you are going to burn fewer and fewer calories. Your metabolism is going to become more efficient, making each calorie essentially stretch longer. And eventually your metabolism will slow to match your energy intake and you will plateau. And this is where people get stuck. So let's look at an example really quick, because I think actually drawing it out visually is really helpful to understand kind of what's happening in the body. So let's say that you are currently maintaining weight while eating 2,000 calories per day. This means that with whatever activity you're currently doing, you're also burning 2,000 calories per day on average. But you want to lose weight, and so you start doing cardio because that's what everyone tells you you should be doing. And so let's just say you go kind of hard and you add an hour of cardio every day and you're like basically sprinting, so you burn 500 calories extra a day through cardio. I would never recommend this, obviously, because I'm not recommending cardio in general for fat loss, but like that's extreme. I'm just using this as like easy number example. So you're running real hard every day, burning those 500 calories, you're still eating your 2,000 calories a day. So now you're burning 2,500 calories, eating 2,000 calories, so you're in a 500 calorie deficit. And you initially start losing weight. It's great. But slowly, your metabolism starts to adapt to compensate for this calorie deficit. And after a while, your weight loss stops altogether. You hit a plateau. And now essentially you're stuck having to keep doing an hour of cardio per day to keep burning 2,000 calories per day. When before, you were burning 2,000 calories a day without cardio. And now, if you don't really like cardio and you don't want to keep doing it and you end up stopping doing it, and you keep eating 2,000 calories a day, you're gonna end up regaining all the weight because you'd be putting yourself in a sudden calorie surplus. So if you've ever gotten stuck in the yo-yo cycle of losing weight and regaining it and losing weight and regaining it with cardio, this is precisely why. So all of this kind of sums up to be why relying on cardio for fat loss is not the most efficient way to lose fat and keep it off long term. What I recommend instead is focusing on resistance training. This is because resistance training is essentially the opposite-ish of cardio when it comes to all of the pathways that we've talked about. Where cardio is catabolic, resistance training is anabolic. Where cardio creates an efficient metabolism, resistance training creates an inefficient metabolism. Where cardio causes your body to start to pare back a lot more muscle, resistance training is going to maintain as much muscle as possible while in a calorie deficit. This makes it a more efficient tool to get leaner for two reasons. The first is when you're prioritizing resistance training, you're going to maintain a lot more muscle as you are losing weight. This means that even if you lose the same amount of weight, you're gonna end up at a lower body fat percentage. For example, if you were to lose 100 pounds and 50 of those pounds came from fat and 50 of those pounds came from muscle, as it might if you are just relying on cardio in a calorie deficit, then you've lost 50% of your weight from fat and 50% from muscle. However, if you are prioritizing resistance training and maintain a lot more of that muscle, you might be able to lose 80 pounds from fat and 20 pounds from muscle. So even though you've still lost the same 100 pounds, you have lost 30 pounds more fat when you've added the resistance training and prioritized maintaining that muscle mass. You're gonna look a lot leaner if you've maintained that extra muscle than if you just tried to lose weight willy-nilly and didn't care what it came from. Second is you will maintain a higher metabolic rate, which makes your calorie deficit itself more efficient, because the less you have that metabolic adaptation to the deficit, the bigger deficit you're gonna have, even if your calorie intake is the same. And so when you are in a calorie deficit, that fat loss itself will be more efficient, but also when you finish your diet, when you reach your goals, your metabolism will be higher, and that just makes it a lot easier to keep weight off long term. Like if you start off maintaining weight on 2,500 calories, but then tank your metabolism and you end up plateauing at maybe your goal weight, but you plateau at 1,500 calories, now you have to eat 1,500 calories for the rest of your life in order to maintain your results. That's ridiculous. Like, you should not have to stay in a dieting restrictive mindset in order to maintain your results. That diet culture BS needs to die. If instead you're able to prioritize keeping your metabolism as fast as possible, maybe you end your diet, reach your goal weight, and you can maintain on 2,300, 2,400 calories, depending on like how much you lose. But it should stay a lot closer to your original maintenance calories than if you just prioritize losing weight over losing specifically fat and maintaining muscle, and you don't do anything to maintain your metabolic rate. So all of this said, I want to take a second to acknowledge that cardio is not evil. People hear me say it's not the most efficient way to lose fat, and they think I'm saying no one should ever do cardio. It's the worst thing ever for you. Stop doing all cardio. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying maybe don't rely on it as the most efficient way to lose fat. So just to make sure we're all on the same page, let's quickly break down where cardio can truly shine. First is initial fast weight loss. If you don't have much to lose, if you're only trying to lose a couple pounds and you can do it relatively quickly, then you don't really have to worry about metabolic adaptation because you're not going to be in a calorie deficit long enough for your body to really fully adapt to it. In which case, cardio can help you burn a little extra fat a little bit quicker so you can just get in and out of your diet super quick and not have to think about it for very long. Also, if you love cardio and just want to do it regularly as a regular part of your life and don't plan on quitting anytime soon, then you don't have to worry as much about the adaptation because you're not planning on stopping, and so you wouldn't have to worry about regaining all the weight when you do stop. That said, it's still not the most efficient way to lose weight, but you don't risk the sudden regain when you quit if you don't plan on quitting. Also, when it comes to losing fat, you can incorporate it into a fat loss journey. I would just recommend phasing it appropriately and not doing it day in and day out. You want to take regular breaks so that your metabolism doesn't just keep adapting to it and keep slowing down. So you will avoid some of the pitfalls if you phase the cardio. But that said, deficit plus cardio is still a little bit heavy on the catabolism, especially if you aren't incorporating resistance training in there. You still want to make sure you have a good balance of the two. And then of course we have to acknowledge the fact that movement is necessary for health. And you guys know that health is like my number one priority. My number one priority not only for myself, but also for my clients. Anything you can do to make yourself physically healthier is going to help with long-term fat loss and keeping it off. So you don't want to cut out all movement entirely. I'm not suggesting that you do 1 hour of resistance training and then don't move for the rest of the day. Like, you still want to stay active. You want to get your steps in. Like, aiming for 10,000 steps a day is still a fantastic goal and something that I do recommend to most clients when they're trying to lose fat because it's going to keep them just healthier overall. And it's going to prevent the pitfalls of a sedentary lifestyle, which are also not great for fat loss. And then of course you have the cardiovascular benefits of cardio. Like, cardio is good for your heart. Obviously. It's good for endurance, it's good for a lot of people's mental health. And then last thing I want to note, if you are eating at maintenance and doing enough resistance training, then you can kind of avoid all of these pitfalls of cardio that I talked about. But obviously if you're eating at maintenance, you're not trying to lose fat, so it's kind of out of context of this video. But it's really when cardio is combined with a calorie deficit that it becomes more detrimental to body composition and metabolic rate. And then lastly, I do want to give a special shout out to HIIT, or high intensity interval training. HIIT is kind of in a class of its own since it is technically cardio, but it's actually a lot more anabolic than catabolic. This means it won't cause nearly the same amount of negative metabolic adaptation as traditional like steady state cardio will. But it also comes with a lot of the benefits of steady state cardio. So if you do want to incorporate cardio into a fat loss program, I personally recommend adding in HIIT like once or twice a week. You don't want to overdo it with HIIT if you're doing HIIT properly because it's very intense and can actually like cause damage to your mitochondria if you're overtaxing your body. But overall, HIIT is a great form of cardio to add in combination with a fat loss program. So lastly, for clarity, everything I'm saying does not mean that I think you can't lose weight while doing cardio or that no one has ever lost fat doing cardio. Just that for the average person, prioritizing resistance training and not relying on cardio for fat loss is going to be more efficient and help them get results that last longer. I know there's gonna be people in the comments who are like, I lost all my fat doing cardio and I've kept it off. Like, great, congrats. I'm genuinely happy for you. But just because you accomplished it that way doesn't mean it might not have been a little bit more efficient for you to do it a different way. And that's that's okay. Like if you're happy with where you're at, you're happy with your current training schedule, you're happy with your body, then I'm happy for you. The point is just that if you've been trying to lose fat with cardio and not seeing results, this video may explain why that's the case for you. I just want people to know who are doing cardio for fat loss and feeling stuck or losing weight and regaining it and feeling like something's wrong, it's not because your body is broken. Your body is doing exactly what it's supposed to. It's regulating your metabolism the way it is designed to. So all you need to do is change up the programming. So if you found this insight helpful, if you learned something, if you want to learn how to actually implement a fat loss journey without any cardio that is going to prioritize your muscle mass, prioritize your metabolic rate, prioritize sustainability, then make sure you check out Fat Loss 101. This is my new course on healthy, sustainable fat loss that officially opens for registration very, very soon on June 1st. But pro tip, if you are on the wait list, which you can sign up for at fatloss101.com, you will save $250 and get early access on the 29th of this month, Monday, very, very soon. And spots are very limited, so like if you're serious about wanting to do the course and you want to save money, like make sure you're on the wait list. Because based on the current wait list size, I expect it to sell out. So what exactly is Fat Loss 101? You might be asking. Let me explain it to you so you know what you're getting yourself into. First and foremost, it is a comprehensive course, like comprehensive course on fat loss. Everything you need to know to lose fat in a healthy, sustainable way, the step-by-step instructions, as well as instructions on how to individualize your fat loss journey for your body. This is not just like a template that I'm sending out to everyone saying, do this, like everyone is eating 1,200 calories. Like, no, you go through multiple steps to figure out exactly where you are, where you need to be so that it is customized to you. If you've been trying to lose weight, but you feel like you're just fighting constant cravings, or you're just counting the seconds on the Stairmaster, wishing you were dead, or you feel like you're having to wage an all-out war on your body in order to lose weight, this course is for you. Because it is created to be the exact opposite of that, but still get you the results that you're after. Imagine a world where you've reached your goals and maintaining your dream body feels effortless. You never have to think about dieting again. It feels like you and your body are on the same team. You're working in alignment with your body. You can go out with friends to eat and not worry that a night of having a cheeseburger and french fries and maybe a couple drinks, don't worry that that's going to completely ruin your progress and cause you to gain all the weight back. The goal of that future for my students is what I designed this course around. That is what this course aims to get you. So the format of the course I designed to be somewhat like a college course, at least in my head. So it comes with video lectures with like PowerPoints, so you have like the lecture component of a college course. And then all of the video lectures I also converted into audio format, so you can listen to it like on the go. If you're getting your steps in and you want to listen to course content, you can do it that way. And then I also created a textbook version of the course, which is a full PDF that I don't know if this is a scary thing or not. This might intimidate some people. The PDF is 300 pages and 90,000 words. That's how much effort and information I put into this course. So I think you're getting what you're paying for. I'm not just giving you like a little dinky 20-page PDF of a course. Like, this is a extensive, comprehensive course with like everything that I know that I think you need to know about how to lose fat in a healthy, sustainable way. So you get your textbook, and then you also have the class aspect. So you get 6 months of access to a Facebook forum where all of the other students will be participating. You guys can support each other, ask each other questions, help each other out, and then you also get 6 months of group coaching support. So kind of like office hours. I will be in the forum answering all of your questions. So if you have any questions about your fat loss journey throughout the 6 months, you can ask in the forum. I will personally be in there answering your questions for you. So you have access to me as a coach, as you normally would as like a one-on-one client of mine. And then I also lead monthly live workshops in the group, so you can all sit down, show up, grab a cup of tea, we can all chat together, talk through anything that you might be thinking about, worried about, have questions about along your journey. That's what those are designed for. So it's not like a college course in the sense that you don't have tests or quizzes or anything like that, but the structure of the course is like a college class. So if that sounds interesting to you, if you want my support on your fat loss journey, you want to learn so many more things about fat loss like this video, make sure you check out fatloss101.com. Early bird registration, where you can save $250 if you're on the wait list, is from this Monday, May 29th through the 31st. Then that closes. Regular registration opens on the 1st and closes on the 8th. So you don't have a lot of time to register. It's a short window because I wanted everyone to kind of start at the same time. So you get access to all the course material at the same time on June 8th. But the registration window is short so that we can all kind of start together. And then I won't be offering this course again until next year. So if you want in, get in. If you have any questions at all about the course, please feel free to leave a comment, message me on Instagram, shoot me an email at hello@holisticfitnesslabs.com. Happy to answer, happy to let you know if I think this course is appropriate for you. If you have any specific like health concerns, other considerations, just questions about like timing of the course, etc., and want to know if it's a good idea for you to participate or not, let me know. I don't want you doing the course if I think it's not going to be a good idea for you. Like, I'm not just trying to sell this to as many people as possible. I want people in the course that I think are genuinely going to benefit from it. Because that's my goal, is to just help as many people as possible and help get as many people off of the endless cardio wagon as possible. Unless you like the cardio wagon, you can stay on the cardio wagon. But I want to at least get you all off the like metaphorical hamster wheel of fitness and not have fitness feel like a constant battleground, like you're fighting against your body, doing programs that are causing hormone imbalances and all kinds of other things. Like, I just want fitness to feel good. That's it. That's all I want. Anyway, that's all I got for you. But like I said, if you have any questions, let me know. If you liked this video, please give it a big thumbs up. It really does support me and my channel. I really genuinely appreciate it. Please share this video with your friends, your family, your gym buddies. If you want to see more content from me all about health and fitness, you can check it out over here. To see future videos, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the little notification bell so you get notified when I post a video, and I will see you very soon.